Hi, everyone. My name's Tyler Skinner. Today, I'm just going to be summarizing the article that I wrote, The History of National Parks. I wrote this article just because I think it's very interesting that we don't really know a lot, or the general public, at least I didn't know too much about history parks and the history of them, or national parks and the history of them. And I think it's very interesting because as I start off in this article, I think when we hear the word national park or the words national park, we tend to think of the United States with Yellowstone, Yosemite, the really famous ones. We have some in Maine. But actually, the first, it's a little bit debatable and arguable, but the first traditional national park is the Bogd Mountain. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but it is in Mongolia. Um, and it was a very interesting formality of a national park. It was created around 1778. Um, there was kind of a little conversation, if you will, that happened between Mongolia and a royal decree of Beijing, um, and talked to the governor of Mongolia and created the Bogd uh, National Park. It's essentially just a mountain range that was held in high standards because of the royalty that lived or was born there. This included Genghis Khan. Um, and it's very interesting because I feel like, especially in American education, we don't learn too much about this national park, but it's very beautiful. I had to dig for some pictures of it just because it is so kind of off the beaten path when it comes to national parks. And then in the sequential order, there is, of course, the ever famous Yellowstone National Park. This was created in 1872 by President Grant, signing the first National Park Act. The park itself is 63 miles north to south. Um, Across it, there are plenty diverse animal and plant biomes. There also are 290 different waterfalls, which I thought was very interesting because that is a lot of waterfalls, and I never knew that. Um, Began in 1872, but previously there were Native American relics that were found, and I think this is a good reminder that we are not on land that we discovered first. It's amazing to see these national parks and amazing to just view at the wonder of the world, but it is important to recognize who came before us, and I think that is it's a wonderful reminder. The third national park that I covered, third and final, was Royal National Park in Australia. Similar to Yellowstone, this national park is on indigenous territory land of an Aboriginal group called the Darawal. They boast 40,000 acres of natural swimming holes, hiking trails, and also similar to Yellowstone, plenty of flora and fauna. It's a very active national park still. A lot of people go there for swimming, surfing, or just relaxation. And there is a very famous rock called the Wedding Cake Rock that looks like a wedding cake. Although, due to public safety and years of erosion, it has been forebode to stand on it simply because of the fear of it falling off. So it is a wonderful time just to look through all the wonders of our earth and see that there is that little bit of humanity of those parks being protected nationally and not even by nation, but just in the world. There are so many of them. So I'm glad to have summarized this article.